For this section, we're focusing on how is it we can get our outputs on Midjourney to be more of stock photo quality. So we want to optimize our prompts to have that professional photography that is worthy of that stock photo look. So how we want to do that is to enter actual camera settings. For instance, if I were to have an SLR camera, I would manually press buttons to change things like ISO, change this number. It can range, let's say, from 100 to 1800, or the shutter speed. But what do these things mean? Because I can put my prompt to be a fishing boat along the water's edge at sunrise, soft morning light, the calm sea, the colorful sky, and have that picturesque backdrop. But it may not look as stock photo-ish as this. So why is that? So it's not a photography course, so I'm going to go over this a bit quickly, but it's enough for you to be able to generate prompts that are stock worthy. So when we're setting a scene, you can choose words such as cinematic, golden hour, blue hour, satellite image. That's for the description. When it comes to the camera settings, you see the difference in the description in terms of like the scene, but with these other things, what are they? So in terms of the camera, sorry, this is actually a typo. It's not supposed to be camera types there. It's macro in terms of the level of zoom you've got. So macro is that if we want to have a higher zoom, or wide angle if we want to picture you moving back, and then you've got that big landscape. I'll show you examples on this, so don't worry, this is just an overview. F-stop, meaning that the lower the value, the more blurry the background can be, and the focus would be on the boat. Or if you want it to be more sharp at the back as well, like a landscape photo, then we can maybe increase the f-stop values. ISO depends on how light the settings are that we're working in. In very bright light, you can get away with an ISO of 100, but if it's dark, then it would look really grainy, or maybe even too dark to recognize something. So you bump up the ISO, and you can change cameras. So we've got, let's say, a Canon, which Nikon, which Sony, and that gives you that idea. If it's a full frame camera, it really helps a lot if it's if you want to do portrait photography, or change that difference to like a landscape photography. Then we've got the focal length. 100mm can be when we want to zoom into something, let's say a bee on a flower, or it's really good for portraits. You can use 35 for portraits as well, but for landscapes, when you want that whole large scenery, you use focal length of 11. That's what I mean by when you see some of these writings here, like I want to create an urban hipster using Nikon C6, and I specify which lens, 35mm lens, with f-stop at 2.8. So what that means, f-stop at 2.8, means that I want to sort of focus mostly on the person, and it creates that bokeh effect in the background, so it's blurred out. And then even add the parameters at the end. So we've got the camera settings, included the description, and then at the end, we've got the parameters.